Go bring us in.
And we're back in Everybody Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by McGalley Health Group, Dr. Ryan McGalley. Check him out online at healthyslowcounty.com. Phone number 805-461-8822. That's 805-461-8822. Looking to get yourself back on track, be able to get out there, play more often, whatever sports you play, whatever you do. Check out McGalley Health Group at healthyslowcounty.com. Well, that was an interesting discussion on naked golf.
It's amazing. It all started with Nikki walking into Whistling Straits Golf Course.
I know. I don't know how that happened. It was a very innocuous comment.
It went from, were you wearing Golf Talk Radio shirt? And you said no. And then I just asked, were you wearing a shirt? And
that was the end.
And then it started
that's what
like
we
that.
love. We love that.
And then according to Next Gen Golf, one of the requirements of having the entertainment show is some random entertainment and discussion.
God,
we are here for that, Mike.
We fulfill that.
They also
I think that's 100% pretty much.
They also say topics from the PGA Tour. Thus, let's dive in.
Let's.
I like that.
All right. So the PGA Tour polled. I don't have trouble saying the word polled.
Yeah, let's see.
Is that the right word? Polled?
Polled.
Surveyed is better? No, polled.
I think it was polled.
Well, I'm just curious that's just a weird. Because I polled.
P-O-L-L-E-D.
I used to poll my drivers a lot, but I've straightened it out. I actually drove it great a couple weeks ago. I'm very impressed myself for a senior.
Yeah, Golf Digest Tour Pro Survey.
Survey. Okay, I like the word survey better than polled.
Yeah, me too.
So, but they are poll questions. So you guys want to start? Or you want to fire one off?
Go ahead, Nikki. Fire one off.
What do you got, Nikki? Read the question.
Should I start at the top?
Let's start whatever you want.
Okay.
Are you wearing a top?
I am.
All right.
I am. Does Rory McIlroy lift too much?
Ooh. Can we guess what their answer was? I'm going to say they say no. The bigger percentages says no, they don't because it's not their business. And these are tour players that don't usually diss other tour players. So I'm just saying they say no. I don't know what percentage.
I don't think they're. Yeah, I agree with Billy. I don't think they're going to say anything about that. I think they're just going to steer clear of it.
And this is anonymous? This is anonymous.
What was surprisingly, 22% said yes.
Well, still, that's what?
66 said no.
Oh, so there's some that didn't answer at all.
Some said no comment.
So 22% of them have actually been lifting or been around Rory McIlroy when he's been lifting.
And they think it's too much.
Well, wasn't it Brandel who got on a bent about that?
Another topic, Laura. What's your name?
Anyway.
Nikki. What's your name? Nikki, we're staying on PGA stuff right now.
All the old-time golfers seem to be intimidated at the fact that Rory is in good shape and wears tight polo shirts to show it off. Clearly, muscle is going to help him hit the ball further. As long as he doesn't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he should be fine.
So these are comments that they made, some tour players made. They're quotes,
What does that matter?
I know. Those are in quotes, correct?
Well, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So why does it matter? They talk about Koepka, too. All that. I don't know why it matters. I agree.
How do I look, guys?
You look like you've been really lifting lately.
Thank you, Mike.
I'd even go play golf with you wearing a thong.
That is a compliment, and I appreciate that, buddy. So go ahead, Mike. You got one?
I do.
All right. Why did I get this sheet? This one's funny.
This is interesting.
All right.
Is slow play a problem on the PGA Tour?
Oh.
Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Big majority said yes.
Yeah.
What do you think the percentages are?
70-30.
Yeah.
Yes.
75.
75-25.
84-16.
Yeah.
Yes. One of the arguments as of late is that people are being turned off from golf because of how long it takes to play and watch. Well, it looks like the pros agree. One even adding rookies are too slow because they overanalyze everything.
Yeah, they're brand new to it, man. Give them a break. It's like having a first party when your parents are away. You know what I'm saying? Isn't there a follow-up that says something, or I read that they asked how many people think they play slow, and everybody said they didn't?
Well, you guys might have.
I don't.
Do you have that on yours?
I don't. I'll
look.
I thought they asked how many, and there was like, what did they say? 84%?
84%
think there's a problem.
Think there's a problem.
And then there was like 0% thought they were slow players.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
It's not them.
I don't know where this came from. Have you ever played in a tournament round hungover?
Yes.
So what do you think the numbers are that? Is it, let's see, bigger, yeses or
Wow.
no's?
It's got to be about a 50-50, I bet.
I think probably bigger no.
Because I think it's probably 50-50
Well,
because I think some of the guys
Be
aren't.
more specific.
I think some of the guys aren't going to be honest.
I'd say 60 no, 40 yes.
Okay, Mike, you were close. 46 yes, 54 no. Some of the closest, one guy said I shot 61 hungover.
Wow.
Another one said I was 8 under through 13 one time, and then I made a mess of it. I made the weekend on the numbers, shot 60 on Saturday with a hangover, and won the tournament. Another quote was the entire 2014 season. Somebody on the tour has played hungover the entire 2014 season. I wonder who that is.
Oh my
Wow.
God!
And I did on the Champions Tour. Does that count? These were just quotes. It doesn't have names behind it. The one of the entire 2014 season's interviews. Was it a joke? Did he mean it? It's pretty funny.
Wow.
So, but you were close, half and half.
Wow. I'm surprised.
That's yeah. I'm not surprised by the
I'm
half
not
and half.
surprised at all, especially the old timers. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? It was a big social. Nowadays it's a little different. But what do you got, Nikki? I would have thought it'd be higher.
Should the PGA Tour break from the USGA and play by its own rules?
Wow, they kind of do. Sort of.
Wasn't that
I
sort
think
of
no? I think a bigger percentage say no.
Wasn't that sort of what we talked about when the rule changes were
Yeah.
going to go in? Where I was saying that they could have another set of rules.
Yeah. And should it be different from the amateur golf?
Yeah.
Something like
I
that.
still don't. I still think that that's fine.
They asked the tour players, what do they think, though?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm thinking 60 yes, or 60 no. What was the question? Should they?
Should they?
No, I think the majority said no, they shouldn't. That's just my guess. What do you got? Mike?
Yes.
Well, Mike didn't get a chance to answer.
I was thinking.
My next one's about on cheating,
ahead.
which is
Sorry.
big time right
It's
now.
yes, 62. Yes.
All right.
62. Wow, that's higher than I thought it would be.
I think so too.
That's a lot higher than I thought it would be.
But
Which brings up the next couple questions I have. So interesting.
Yeah,
What do you
I
got?
can understand that though. How from the PGA Tour players, I mean, some of the stuff that
This is interesting, actually. Okay, so
Rules are rules.
these are questions again that are asked of PGA Tour players anonymously. Does the modern golf ball fly too far?
no.
Yes or no?
Wow.
I think that's a great question.
That is a good
Yeah,
question.
but I don't think that they're gonna.
You don't think they're going to?
I think they're
Relent.
I think that that some think for sure, and some don't.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, so how many more bomb it than not? I'm about 70% of them bomb it, 60% bomb it nowadays. I mean, crush it. So I bet they don't think it goes too far. But the ones that are getting out thumped by 40 and 50 yards, I bet they do think it's going too far. So I'm going to go 65 say yes and 35 say no.
Darn close. 70% think the ball flies too far, which leaves
Really?
30. Yeah.
Wow.
Technology is getting better and better by the minute. With that comes new golf balls that seem to be flying further and further. Although 70% of the players say yes, players had added comments including, "We're stuck. We need to either make courses longer or the ball shorter." Says Titleist won't like these comments, but a company like Top Flight
Well,
will.
I think they're getting, certain course layouts are built for the bombers and certain are not.
Yeah.
And they're starting to stretch so far back. They're getting to 8,000 plus yard courses, and the average player can't play that. So I think there is a stuck, but they're better athletes, man. They're crushing the ball.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting. Maybe this isn't the same thing, but you look at this is probably a bad comparison, but you look at like football and positions in football, like the lead blocking back, they're obscure now. They don't exist. So it's like if you're going to put in the ball that flies farther, and like Billy said, then to play on the tour, you're going to have to hit it farther.
You're going to have to hit it far.
And that means that guys that hit it short just can't play on the tour. They're not going to be able to compete.
Yeah.
And so isn't that just the evolution of the sport?
It seems to be. That's what they're saying. It seems
And
to
the-
be.
and-
The stronger the
and
athlete.
same with the course.
If you get these college kids going up, crush it. And the ones
Right.
that the new tour players, the new wave coming in,
Right.
are going to be big, strong, massive hitters.
Which it
It's
is
gonna-
kind of
It's
sad.
going to take the art form away
Right.
a little bit, unfortunately. So, and I don't think we can fix that unless they do something with the ball.
But just because you can hit the ball a long way doesn't mean you're going to win.
But that's not proven out these days. It's all the big hitters. This guy Koepka something or other that
Koepka, yeah.
How well is he doing?
But look at Rory.
So Rory crushes the ball. He's one of the best players on the planet.
Yeah.
So these top 5 or top 6 players in the world all crush the ball. So there's something that's going to be more and more. So I don't know why I get these questions, but this one's for you, Nikki.
Okay.
Do you respect? These are questions asked to PGA Tour players. Do you respect Brandel Chambly's opinions?
Wow.
I'd say 95% no.
Mike? Do you respect Brandel Chambly's opinions? This is the question asked to the PGA Tour players.
30% do.
64% say yes, they respect him. 27 say no, and 8 have no comment. Say what you want, but the guy does his homework, is a quote. I played with him, and he wasn't that good, was another quote. The tiger bashing gets old and ruins a bit of his credibility. These are all quotes from different players. Every panel of talking heads needs a jackass. He can't possibly believe all the stuff he's saying. He can't possibly believe all the stuff he's saying. I have an opinion. I think he's placed out there to
create the controversy. He spurs on the machine.
I absolutely think
so.
And he's also really smart.
Well, and I agree with you 100%.
But I think he's there to do that. It's like watching CNN or Fox News.
Yeah.
They're there to just stir up that.
Do you remember I can't remember the author's name, but remember the author's name, and he talked about that every sport has a hero and a villain. And part of the sport is also, especially now with being in the video age, is the commentary.
Remember, Johnny Miller came out first, and he was the villain.
Yes.
And then they started respecting his honesty, if you will.
Yeah.
This one says this. I blocked him on social media because I don't even want to know what comes out of his mouth.
Wow.
That's Nicky.
Yeah,
I miss his calling. Should have been a doctor. He missed his calling. Should have been a doctor. He might have cured a few diseases. The comments aren't all positive, but 64% say yes, they respect him. His opinions. That's surprising me too. I thought
that blows me away.
Flip flop.
Yeah.
But you know what? The thing is about controversy,
like
it's just like radio shows.
Yep.
There are people that can't stand certain radio shows or certain things, but you know what? They still tune in because they want to hear what the guy's going to say next, even though they don't agree with them and they complain
Maybe
about
because
him.
they don't agree with it.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah.
And it's
shock
and
jocks.
That's great. Yeah.
A
It's
huge
ratings,
radio.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Stern, what he signed a $400 million contract or
Crazy.
something, and he's out there to stir it up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's admitted to that fact.
Has he really?
Oh, sure. He says, and I think that's what Brandel
Did
does.
you hear the latest thing about him? That he was at, I think, a practice round or the Pro-Am.
Stern?
One of the two. No, Chambly. And he teed off and hit his ball to the wrong green.
Oops.
Yeah.
You made your day, didn't it, Nikki?
Did. No, I shouldn't say
Nikki.
that. It didn't. I'm just saying that's something I
Would you
just
play
heard
if he was
today about.
naked?
No.
No. What about Dustin Johnson? Would you be hanging on? Would you follow Dustin? Whose group would you follow?
Rory.
You would follow Roy's group? Paula Creamer. I'd be following her for force him around. Would you got another one? These are
I
good.
do.
Let's rock these things. Let's go fast.
Does golf belong in the Olympic Games?
Oh, absolutely. I would bet everyone said yes.
But you know how many people didn't go last time?
Well, it was out in the middle of nothing. When these were bringing into, where is it next time? Is it in Italy? Where is it next time? It's somewhere.
Good question.
Is it next year? Somewhere. Where is it? I can't remember.
Madagascar.
Okay.
The listeners are going, I know where it is, Billy.
I know,
You're going
exactly.
down 2 notches.
Okay, so what are you gonna guess, guys?
A high number, 90.
Yeah, it's got to be.
90,
It's got to
10.
be up there. It's got to be 80.
68.
Only 68%.
However, if they were asked if it should change to a team event like the Ryder Cup, then 80% said
Oh, so
yes.
America's-
And I'm all for that.
You all
too.
for that?
I would love
Write that down, Mike. Nikki's for
Ryder
that.
Cup.
I
in
can't
the
imagine
Olympics.
that they would want Ryder Cup with as poorly as we play in Ryder Cup
And there's
matches.
not enough countries that would have a team. They can get
That's what
one
I mean.
guy, like
Yeah,
Madagascar. That dude's a stud, man.
Yeah.
Right, Mike? That's your guy. You fantasy. Don't you have him on fantasy golf?
Not this week.
Not this week?
No.
So, you got one, Mike?
I do. Would you be willing to wear a microphone during a competitive round for a TV broadcast? Which I find that question interesting after
Wow.
the
Yeah.
Phil Woods match.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
My God, and they have another one scheduled.
But that shows
That
you
was
too, like
awful.
But that's the thing. Like when you have these questions that are asked, like when you asked about, like when I'm guessing these percentages that you guys are asking those questions about being hungover, there's some people that are not being
Oh,
honest.
of course.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
Even
going to
though
bring
they're
up my
anonymous.
questions
Yeah.
coming up
Yeah,
next.
yeah.
I believe more say yes than no. What do they got to lose? I mean, I wouldn't want to be, because even on the radio show, there's things that, if we slip on something, but
In a regular tournament, in a real tournament,
No.
I would say no.
what about in the Naked Cup?
In the Naked Cup, they're going to say yes
Where would
for
you
sure.
put the microphone?
You have to be
That's
pinned-
a
It'd be
problem.
one of those little
To your
ear
ear.
things
You have the
that
little
Mike
ear
wants
things.
to pick
Yes.
out.
The Mike's running behind picking out things out of your
full
ear.
circle.
It's like, who
It's a
picks
circle.
things out of someone's ear?
No, I just want
I
to
mean,
I want to
it's-
flick it out of there. It's like it's a bug stuck on his ear or her
So
ear.
if I had
It's
a
a
bug,
praying
if I
mantis.
had a bug on my ear, would you flick it off or
Yeah.
tell me,
Yeah,
hey, Billy, you
yeah.
got a bug on your
I
ear?
No,
would,
we'd flick
I would
it off.
slap
What
that
if
thing
it,
off.
What if it stung me when it? You should warn
Well, I would
me.
make sure I know what kind of bug it is before I.
You're gonna Google, take a
Yeah.
little Google snapshot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a it's a watty flea. Go ahead. What do you got?
So
So
Watiti. Okay, you ready?
I went to say
The,
flea, but I stuttered. Watty flea.
52% said yes. 44%
Wow, it's
said
close.
no. 4% said maybe. Getting
If you
closer.
paid me.
Yeah, getting closer to the player and their personality seems to be a growing trend. Adding microphones to players would enhance this this chance to hear their comments after good shots, bad shots, their interaction with the caddy. And we'd love to hear the obvious words from every golfer utters after a bad shot.
Well, that'd have to be cable TV,
All that stuff.
right? People
But-
get mad and say
but,
something.
you
They're always,
still-
oh, sorry, we caught that on the audio there, folks. Sorry.
But
They're-
you could
for
still,
the kids out
even
there.
without the guys having the microphones on, sometimes you'll hear them talking to the caddy.
Love that.
When
Except for
they,
DeChambeau's. It's
Yeah.
like I have
That's
to get
why
a
I love
calculator
walking score,
yeah,
because I get to hear all
Yeah.
of that. It's so cool.
you get the dirt.
up. Joaquin Scorer. That dude can play ball.
He can.
I've got two more real quick. I got to fire out. I know you're looking at break time over here.
No, we're good.
But this,
We're
I
good.
find this very fascinating. So the question is, have you ever witnessed a fellow tour player cheat during a round?
Ooh, that was a good
Oh.
question.
So have you ever witnessed a player cheat during a round? What do you think, Nick?
60% yes.
Geez, that's a lot of cheating going on. No wonder they need to do
60%?
That's a lot, Nikki.
I mean, think about your PAT.
Yeah.
Tour players.
You said 60%?
That's what she said. I didn't say that.
I'll say 55.
44 said yes. 56 said no.
Ah.
But right after this is, have you ever broken a rule and not reported it? 0% said yes. Not one player admitted that.
Yeah,
100%
there's no
said
way.
no. So as they're out there breaking rules, 44% of people, they've seen all these people break the rules, but not one would admit it. And this is supposed to be the integrity of the game. I find that answer fascinating. At least some should have said yes.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, come on. Some have done something out there that,
they have.
so
Well, and maybe some of them have broken the rules because they did not know the rules, but they knew that they maybe did
and
something
if
wrong,
you
but they
didn't
weren't going
know
to
it,
ask.
you wouldn't report it.
No, but you wouldn't ask either.
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
Unless
I
somebody,
wonder.
unless
Yeah.
in
Would
the
me
middle
wearing-
round, unless somebody comes around and says, "Hey, did you?" And he'd be like, "What?"
So if I show up at your golf course with my thong and a manzier, that would be breaking the rule.
Yes.
Yeah.
And would you report it?
I wouldn't report it. I'd just ask you you got to go get some clothes on.
Would you?
A thong and a man's
Would you? Would you offer me clothes?
Yes,
That is, see that.
I do. Okay, that was a good catch.
That
actually.
was awesome.
That was
So
left-handed.
That was really good.
Thank you.
So
I got all
Mike just
excited.
wore the microphone.
I got all
for the
excited when
radio
you talked
show.
about wearing a thong
I
and a
know.
man's ear. I was like, well, I don't know if I could play golf with you like that. I wouldn't be able to focus.
I wouldn't be able to walk into your shop. So we're safe. It means I would have to run from the car to your shop and hope no one's around.
Hey, Billy,
Hey, Mike,
what way do you think
How much?
what way do you think the wind's blowing? Oh, never mind.
How much would we have to give you for you to really do
Oh,
that?
good. I streaked when I was in high school.
I remember
when-
you told that
Yeah.
story.
Very proud back then. I wouldn't
have a
streak
quick
now.
question.
I couldn't even barely walk
I
right
have a
now.
quick question.
Let me hear it.
Okay.
Do I have to answer it?
I think you can both
Okay.
answer. Okay, so
Was
if you're playing naked golf with somebody, all right?
For the record, I'm never going to play
And
naked
everyone
golf.
in the group is playing naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'd be weird if you're the only guy.
If
or
you're
girl.
trying to figure out which way the wind blows, and
Yeah.
I turn and I look at you,
No.
and a certain appendage just starts flapping in the wind, is that
Of course, you're talking about my earlobes.
is
and-
that cheating if I use that?
No,
that
you use what you
movement
get.
to
No,
say
no.
that this is actually the direction the wind's
so
going.
when I was doing pilot training, if you look where the smoke and chimneys, this way the smoke. So you're flying around. If you have emergency landing and there's no windsock around.
Yeah.
Also, cattle usually stand facing into the wind. So you need to look quickly. Is there any smoke going? You're allowed to. Or is where are the cattle? Right, because you can't see the leaves in the trees when you're about ready to crash land. So into that 2 years, you use what you've got, and you know some of the players looking up in the trees. Right, they're looking around. If you happen to glance. And it depending on the wind. Now I'm guessing you need a 15-mile-an-hour gust.
I was going to say that's a 2-club wind at
Yeah,
least.
you need a serious wind.
Well, that depends.
Well, no, not really.
That depends.
No, I don't think
Not
it
everybody's
does.
built the same.
That's true. I mean, it's just some might
That'd be really a light wind.
Some could be a slight little blustering of a wind, and some going to need a big old hurricane.
What if the requirement of playing naked golf
Was
was over certain appendages you had to wear a windsock?
And you're talking earlobes again, right? So that would be cheating because
That wouldn't be naked golf
that would
anymore.
not. Yeah, that would be breach of rule.
Yeah, you'd
and I
be
would
disqualified.
I
You've
would
seen-
report that.
You've seen the Red Hot Chili Peppers' famous album where they're wearing nothing but a tube sock.
Yeah. And
That's
what
what
was the wind blowing in the photo?
And that might actually
I'm
solve the issue I was talking about earlier, where if you did play naked golf as a guy, you got to have a little something.
No. And that depends. I have if you have a little gimp to your giddy up, it's going to be right. I mean, you're going to have unnecessary sway. So you could actually like poker face it, if you will. You could fake. You could gamesmanship.
Watch this.
I mean, you could. You could truly get your other player thrown off. So that's another reason not to have naked golf. Because you could walk in there and you could have people in shock.
Whoa!
You show up at the first tee, pow!
Yeah,
right? And you're
that's
there.
true.
Dude, Bubba's here. And
That's
everybody
true.
it's just breathtaking. Right? Am I right? Jessica Alba shows up on the tee, right? I'm going to be a little nervous.
Yeah, I'd throw that round out the window.
Yes, that's
It'd be
true.
a fun round. It's just-
And I was in the pool. As George.
Yes.
George.
All right, we're going to take our last break. It's Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. You guys stay with us. We'll be right back.